Cherubs, this is the fight between Carnival and Lent by Pieter Bruegel the Elder. Typical of a Bruegel painting, there's a lot going on here. To try to take it all in would drive us crazy, but luckily Bruegel has given us some clues to help us read this painting and make some sense of it. In the Christian faith, there's a period of fasting that lasts for 40 days called Lent. The period leading up to Lent is called Carnival, and as you could imagine, it's characterized by a lot of eating before people had to fast, particularly sweets and meat. Carnival. Now there's a practical reason for this. People slaughtered the animals before the late winter while they're still fat and healthy from the harvest season. Then they feasted. In the foreground of this painting, we see the leader of carnival festivities, often called Father Carnival, riding on a barrel with a big stake attached to it. Now this iteration of Father Carnival wears a pie as a hat. In his wake appear his followers, a band of costumed jokers, seemingly obsessed with pancakes and waffles. Some are even wearing waffles on their head. Now that's our first hint within this busy canvas, and it can help us make sense of the rest. The left side is Carnival, its protagonist is Father Carnival, and its centerpiece is this tavern or bar. It's a time of carelessness, negligence, excess, and fun. There's a theater performance, which is fun, but it comes with the disabled being ignored, which is careless. Here we have somebody dumping their chamber pot out of a window onto somebody else's head. Also careless. This whole part is a mess. So that means that this right side must be Lent, and this thin, fish-wielding character is the protagonist, and in his wake, we see some modest characters wearing normal clothes and holding bread and pretzels, the food of Lent. To contrast the tavern on the left side, we have this church on the right side. You'll notice that the statues of the church are cloaked, which is a tradition of Lent. You'll also notice a difference in the games the children play. On the carnival side, they're gambling. On the Lent side, they're spinning tops, a game that has an interesting moral implication. It seems to say that in order to stand up straight and avoid falling, that the tops regularly require the whip. On the carnival side, you have a man puking out of a window, and on the Lent side, you have a woman cleaning a window. If the left side is careless, the right side is careful. Additionally, the characters on the left side are more charitable to the underprivileged. You'll even notice this guy with a fur-lined coat if you look hard enough. He seems to be better off than most of the people in this painting, yet Bruegel gives him the same amount of space as everybody else in the painting. And that's one of the interesting things about these crowded canvases that Bruegel paints. They're egalitarian. Everybody gets equal space in his paintings, regardless of their stature. Okay, so let's talk about Carnival itself for a minute. It was a ceremony that took place throughout Europe and looked different in each city, but had some universal themes. As the carne in Carnival would imply, they always had meat, but also had violence, sometimes staged, sometimes real, and sex, sometimes staged, sometimes real. They also often involved costume and role reversal. Peasants would dress like kings, noblemen would dress like peasants, men would dress as women, women would dress as men. The culture would parody and lampoon itself. Opinions of these ceremonies at the time varied. Some considered Carnival a sort of release valve for a culture constrained most of the year, but could let loose for a month or so. Others consider the ceremony subversive, that they were attempting to turn the world upside down and overthrow the norms of society. Anthropologists, however, take a different view. Natalie Zeman Davis, in a great essay on role reversals and role-playing in ceremonies, explains that Carnival, and ceremonies like it, may appear chaotic, but they are ultimately sources of order and stability in a hierarchical society. They can clarify the structure by the process of reversing it. So if a peasant, like a king, then acts like he's in charge, this only confirms that when Carnival is over, the king is in charge. These ceremonies can renew the system, but they cannot change it. There are a lot of reasons to like Bruegel. I like how this painting never seems to give answers, but asks a lot of questions. This painting, like the ceremonies they depict, ask a lot of questions about culture itself and the cycles we go through. These two characters, at the center of the painting, who have seemingly just entered the square, torn between unruly Carnival and careful Lent, are being led by a fool through this sea of humanity. I don't know what that means, but I know that I like it. What are the questions this painting leaves you with? Let me hear them in the comments below. And if you like this video and the way I look at art on this channel, please consider subscribing. You'll get a notification when a new video is published on the 15th of every month, and we could hang out some more. Links and information can be found below the video. Thanks for watching.